How's it going, everybody? Rybread here today, and we're going to be continuing our Buffalo Sabres GM mode. Now, I was reading some of your comments after the last video because we did the draft and free agency, so we basically set up our team for the season. And some of you had some suggestions and had some things that you guys wanted me to do. There was a little bit of controversy surrounding Jack Roslovic here. And then we also were thinking that maybe we should find a better goalie than Jonathan Quick. So I went ahead and I've already looked at some potential trades that we could make. Just so you guys know, I've already made a decision on this, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so the first thing you guys said is Cal Foote and his contract. Yeah, I totally take the blame for that one because I expected him to grow. So I figured that $2.5 million for 6, 7 years, 8 years, however long it was like a perfect amount because he would just have a very, very small contract and we'd be like an 84 or something like that. Turns out he never ended up growing, so we got to get rid of that contract so we can free up some cap space because as you guys remember, cap is a little bit of an issue for us. So let's get into proposed trade here. We also will be getting somebody back that I think will help our team in the future and is relatively close to being an NHL-ready player. So as you guys can see there, we only got about $4 million in cap space. I mean, that's still a decent amount of money, but I can make that quite a bit more and improve our team. So we're going to go ahead and throw Cal Foote up there on the trade block. And then one more guy, I have it written down here, Doyle. Now, with Cal Foote, yeah, as you guys can see that, he's low elite potential, but he is... Oh, I got to throw somebody up on the other side, so before I can check him, I forgot about that. And I'm pretty sure this guy is a prospect. I gotta find him, though. There he is, and Andronov. This guy. I think this guy could really, really help our team out quite a bit. He's a 78 overall. He's a sniper, so we're always looking for our snipers on this team. He's got pretty good puck skills and senses. His defense isn't quite there yet, but then again, he's only 21, and he's 78 with medium top 6 potential. So he's still got plenty of years to grow and could possibly turn into that Evander Kane replacement. I even forget about having Evander Kane on the team. So we'll throw him up there for the Red Wings. On our side, Cal Foote here, I mean, he's 24 low elite potential, but he's only 79 overall. And if you see, like, his offensive awareness is great and everything, but there's a lot of individual stats that have a lot to be desired. So, I mean, defensive awareness, his defensive category isn't terrible. His puck skills definitely need to be better. He's listed as a minor top 2 defenseman. Not for the kind of money we're paying him, $2.3 million over 6 more years. He's going to be a lifetime AHLer, it looks like. He never ended up growing for us. But I'll show you guys what happens if I try to propose this trade straight up. And it says ultimately they are going to decline it, but it's a good trade. They're saying they're going to decline it because it doesn't make sense to take on the salary of Cal Foote. Now that frustrates me, but I did find a way to get them to accept it. Now we do have to retain some salary, but it's going to be $500,000, guys. We're only retaining $500,000 for 6 years, and I don't think that's really going to affect our. That's not going to put us over the edge of signing a superstar or re-signing some of our players or not, is that $500,000. And besides, we can always dump a guy who's worth $1.2 million kind of guy who's on the 4th line if need be. So yeah, this should go through now, and we're going to get a medium top 6 forward. Now, he needs to be re-signed in the offseason, so he's going to want probably Cal Foote's contract. Maybe a little bit less, but that's where that $500,000 comes in. If we can sign him for 1.8, we basically have a guy at the same contract as Cal Foote. So let's go ahead and get trade number 1 out of the way. I'm just going to hit assistant coach best roster all these times because I actually got quite a few trades before the season starts. Next up, we're going to address our goaltending issue. So don't get too scared right now, boys. Just because we're going to the Chicago Blackhawks, we're going to go ahead and get rid of Mr. Jonathan Quick here. He's 85, 37, but $6.25 million is quite a bit of money. I don't want to be paying Jonathan Quick that much for 2 more years. He's probably going to retire after this year anyway, but still. So, from Chicago, we are going to get a trading asset, Kuleshov, and then a couple of draft picks as well. This year's 4th and next year's 4th. I've started to realize that I never acquire future draft picks, so this is actually the first time I'm trying to acquire future draft picks. But we're going to get this goalie. He's going to be used in a later trade. Don't worry, guys. He's nothing special. So I'm not bringing him in to replace him, and I'm not giving what's-his-face, our backup, Gustafsson, the starting role. So let's go ahead and propose that trade. Call up Bill Flood. That's fine. And then assistant coach, best roster there. And then we're going to go over to Tampa Bay, and now we're going to give Tampa Bay's actually got a player on the block. Schneider there is actually a goaltender, and we do need a goaltender. And if you guys look at him real quick, he's 85, 24, medium starter potential. So basically, he was the same thing that Jonathan Quick was, but he's younger and has some potential to grow even. And if you look at how he simulates, I know it's a small sample size, but he's been simulating not too poorly. I mean, the first season in the NHL, he wasn't that great, but don't forget, he probably grew as far as overall and individual statistics in the year number 2 in the NHL for him, and he simulated pretty well, and you can see like he simulated well down here in the AHL. So we're going to go ahead and throw Schneider up there. Oh, and as well as a 4th-round pick from this season, because they want to give all their picks away, so why not take one? And then there's a guy that you guys said to give away because his contract is a little bit too much for what we get from him, and his individual stats aren't the greatest. Nicholas Baptiste here. Now, he's 28, 84, top 9 forward, right? He's a decent bottom 6 guy. But if he's listed as a 3rd-line scoring forward, and really the only category that impresses me is his physical category. I mean, 93 strength and 91 body checking is great, but offensive awareness at 82, passing at 80. His shooting accuracy is only at 84 for his wrist shot, 89 for slap shot, so that's a little bit better. But he doesn't get a ton of points whatsoever. I mean, 20-some points. I mean, that's replaceable. And don't forget, guys, we had to decide, do we want Nicholas Baptiste or Victor Arvidsson? And well, Baptiste is on basically a $4 million deal for the next 3 years. I don't want that contract because I got a guy like Victor Arvidsson who I believe has better individual stats, maybe not as high of an overall, but has better individual stats for, I believe, about like 1.2 million. So we're going to go ahead and throw Baptiste on there. And if I throw him on there, you guys see here in just a second, it's going to say they would have too few goalies. So I was thinking, let's go ahead and throw back Bill Flood, right? Because we have that, we've got plenty of medium starters, and he's the low starter. He's the lowest trade value on the team. So if we throw him in there, it still wouldn't go through because they'd still have too few goalies. So that's why we went out and acquired Kuleshov for Jonathan Quick earlier. And that's because I said he's not going to be anything special. He's a medium backup potential. He's 73. He's still only 23, so he could grow. But it doesn't look like he's going to grow to be anything special. Besides, we got Gustafsson here as a backup goalie who's now up to an 82. And then we got Sean Donald here, our 76 medium elite goaltender, who should be ready in a year or two to take over the starting role. But that's why we have Schneider here. Is it Cole Schneider or Kenneth Schneider? Kenny Schneider here. 24 years of age, medium starter potential, could grow up to an 86 or even an 87 if we're lucky by the time Donald is ready to go. And then we could end up using this guy in a trade while Donald gets the starting role for us. So that's trade number 3 there, guys. And there is one more trade after I make this one. It's actually a pretty big trade. Now, there was some debate over Jack Roslovic in the comments section. I did see that. Oh, and look, morale gained for trading for a quality player. So apparently, Kenny Schneider there is a quality player. So you guys were saying to go ahead and get a sniper, a young sniper for what's his face, for Roslovic. That's right. And I found somebody who fits the bill almost to a T. Wisniewski here, Sergei Wisniewski. Left-wing playmaker. I know he's a playmaker, but guys, look at that wrist shot accuracy, up at 98. This guy is going to score goals, and he's only 21 with medium elite potential. He's still got room to improve, like, without a doubt. His passing's at 90, and his offensive awareness is at 97. Now, his defensive awareness is at 80, so I'd like to see that grow, but he's still young. And his stick checking's up there at 92 as well, so that's not bad. His skating category is 5 stars, and physical is not bad either. He's 5'11", 184, so I wouldn't expect his physical category to be good. But if you guys look at this, his full career stats, I checked this out. This guy in his rookie season dropped 106 points, guys. 106 points. We barely get players up to point per game, and last season he was point per game. He almost had 50 goals in his rookie season. The kid is a beast. He is a stud. He puts in points. Now, I know Jack Roslovic is a 93, and he's got great 5-star categories like all over the place. But this guy, I mean, I'm going to have to re-sign this guy after the season, too. So he's going to want a pretty penny, I'm betting. So we'll go ahead and throw Wisniewski up there, and then I'll show you guys Jack Roslovic. I thought this went out pretty hard because we're trading away one of our top-end players up here. Now, wait, what? This didn't happen, okay. Interesting. Oh, right. I'm going to retain half of Jack Roslovic's salary. I forgot to write that down. Because it's only a 1-year deal, guys, so it's really not going to hurt us. Because we're opening so much cap space. Because we're trading a $5.6 million player for an entry-level deal. So that's going to tie us down. But, guys, even after we retain that $2.8 million, we'll still have $12 million under the cap. So we have plenty of cap space to do something at the trade deadline. Now, I'll show you guys Jack Roslovic's individual stats. We've seen this guy plenty of times. His shooting category is 5-star, but his accuracy isn't up there. It's his power that pulls him up. His skating is great. His defense is great. His physical is great. His puck skills in senses are 5 and 4.5 stars, but I mean, 85 passing and 85 offensive awareness gets you second-line production. This guy doesn't get points for us. It's as simple as that. And he's on a contract year, which is why I'm retaining half of his salary. Because I'm going to have to pay this guy probably $9 million at least, $9.5 million for Jack Roslovic here as a 93. And I don't want to pay $9 million for second-line point production. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like his plus-minus has been fantastic for us either. So I know these couple seasons he's been with us, and he's done all right. But a guy like Wisniewski here, I'm okay with giving him $9 million if he's going to put up huge point totals like this, point-per-game player. So if he can do that for us, I'd be more than happy to get him. And unfortunately, because they don't want to give him up, they do want Jack Roslovic. The trade value does seem like it's in our favor, but I cannot get a pick out of this one either. So I know the $2.8 million looks scary, but don't forget Roslov's only on a 1-year deal. He's expiring after the year, so that's basically going away at the end of the year. So let's go ahead and propose the trade, and there we go, boys. We now have a first-line point producer to put along Jack Eichel and Alex Nylander. Let's go ahead. Okay, so Wisniewski's now the alternate captain. I probably want to go fix that. Let's go check out the player morale to see who is listed as a top player. And look at that, guys. Our goalie went up by 2 points, and everything else remained the same. So I think those were pretty good trades. I think they'll help us along the season. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to jump month by month for you guys because it gets a little bit boring at this point in the simulation because we're basically just shooting for the playoffs, right? So we got Risto and Tulola are our presence players, so that's fine. Well, let's go ahead and rework the... I think it might have taken the captaincy away from Jack Eichel. So that kind of makes me a little bit upset. So let's go ahead and check out captains and jerseys. It's going to mess with morale just a little bit. So Wisniewski's got the A. Tyson Barrie's got the C. I don't want Barrie having the C. I'm going to give Jack Eichel the C again. And then Wisniewski's a little bit young. He hasn't been around quite a bit. But he is an awesome player. So, I mean, look it. Connor McDavid was the captain of the Oilers in his second season. Youngest captain ever. So why can't Wisniewski just be an assistant captain? So Risto's got the A, Wisniewski's got the A, and then Jack Eichel has the C for us. Now we're going to see morale. Yeah, Tyson Barrie's not happy that I stripped him of the captaincy, but Jack Eichel is really happy about it. Neither of them want to meet with me, and the Sabres, we lost morale for changing captaincy, but that's fine. Everything else is still good. Let's go ahead here and edit the lines and show you guys what the lines are going to be. I'm pretty sure Best Lines does it. Oh, right. I'm going to move Sam Reinhart down the line just because I think Nylander is such an offensive presence that he could set up Wisniewski, and this line could have a ridiculous year as far as point production. Now, Jack Eichel here, he's $9.5 million, so that's what I'm kind of expecting for him. This season here, he was, I'm pretty sure he was a playmaker here, or maybe a sniper. I don't know. But I want to get him back up to the seasons where he produces really, really well for us. I think making him a playmaker will better Jack Eichel, just because his playmaking and offensive awareness categories basically are higher. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys that I am editing Jack Eichel really quickly. and not editing anything else. I don't think I'm even allowed to edit the player stats or anything. If I could, I would, because some of you guys were saying that you got Jack Eichel up to a ridiculous overall, and Risto up to a ridiculous overall. Same thing with Reinhardt, but with injuries on and everything, they didn't quite reach that unbelievable status, but neither did other players in the league. So it does provide some variability in the simulation, so my simulation isn't the same as yours. Alright, I got to turn off injuries for preseason, and then I'll show you guys that when I turn injuries back on, just so you guys don't think that I left them off all season if we don't really have any major injuries. Let's go ahead here and get through the preseason and see how we do. Hopefully Kenny Schneider back there does pretty well. Let's go ahead and simulate past this Toronto game. We always play Toronto as the last game of the preseason. I don't think the preseason schedule changes whatsoever. Oh, I accidentally hit B. And the scout's done with his call. There we go. We'll just go ahead and keep simulating. But yeah, I definitely think these trades made us better. We got prospects for guys that aren't growing. Specifically, Andronov for Cal Foot and a low top, I think he was low top 6 or low top 9 prospect Doyle. But I'm fine with giving that away. We traded Quick for 2 fourths, basically. And let's see here. Forwards for 1 month. We traded Quick for 2 fourths and a chip that got us our starting goaltender. So then we traded away Baptiste, Flood, and Kuleshov for Schneider and a 4th. So we got 3 4th-round picks in these trades here. Oh, and we went 5-1-1 in the preseason. Good Lord. So, good for us. Just looking at the trades again that I have written down. We got rid of Baptiste's $4 million for a guy that, really puts up 4th-line production on the 3rd line. We don't need him, and I think Arvidsson can have a better year than he does. Flood and Kuleshov, the goalie we got from Chicago, went to help get us Schneider, our starting goaltender right now. So I will go turn back on injuries, and then I will start the simulation, boys, and we will get year number 8. Now, I did make a mistake in the last video. It wasn't year number 7 Buffalo Sabres. This is your year number 8 Buffalo Sabres, because I miscounted one. I accidentally named one of the videos on my channel wrong. I fixed it now, but the thumbnail's still wrong, but I'm not going to bother fixing it. So these are the lines as we head into the season here, just to show you guys really quickly. Wisniewski, Eichel, Nylander, Schwartz, Marner, Reinhardt. We know Marner plays better than an 86 anyway. Dalcal is a great 3rd liner for us. Dalcal, Bracco, and Arvidsson. And then we're going to put, someone mentioned to put Beauvillier, I don't know how to say his name, as the center on the line, because McNeely's only got 78 faceoffs, but he's got 84 faceoffs, so that'll help us there. And then we have Kulikov, Beauvillier, oh God, and Arthur McNeely there. I can say that name. That's an easy name. On the 4th line. So our forwards look pretty good, and then our defense. We signed Tyson Barrie to a 7-year, $8.2 million contract. I'm fine with it. We can end up unloading him anyway at some point if he does start to drop off. But I think he's going to be a good point producer with Risto. We have Fowler, who's still an 87, with Jake Bean. And then we have Tulola with Ulf Bacher, who I'm hoping to see some growth out of. Goaltending-wise, we have Kenneth Schneider here, 85 medium starter, 24-year-old. And then backup, Philip Gustafsson. So these two guys, they could become decent players for us, but nothing spectacular. And then I'll just go look at the power play really quickly. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. It's basically the first 2 lines. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. All right, and then penalty kill. They love to put McNeely here. I'm okay with Dalcal, actually. I just like to give somebody else the ice time here. Maybe a guy like, I'll give Jack Eichel the ice time here. Why not? Or Bracco, because, he's not that good. Is he? Yeah, he's actually got a pretty good defensive category, so we'll put him there on the penalty kill for us. All right, guys. Oh, wait, he's already on the penalty kill. I just noticed that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and edit the penalty kill. You guys don't worry about the penalty kill too much. I will check back in with you guys when we finish the first month. So, guys, it wasn't the greatest first month, but it wasn't too bad. 5-4-1. We're about an average team right now. We got there's a lot of teams we're playing early on that are have only a few losses. Like the Capitals here are 7-2. The St. Louis Blues here are 7-1-1, and the Leafs are 7-2. We are able to beat some better teams, but look at Ottawa's 7-1-2. Detroit's 8-1-1. Like, good lord, where did Detroit come from? Their team looks terrible, but apparently they're simulating well. We're in a wild card spot right now, but it's just the first month, so I'll keep the simulation going. I think I'm going to go up to January 1st, go ahead and get through November and December here, and then we can take a check of the stats. So I'll go up to here, guys, and that's where I will see you guys again when we're basically halfway through the year, and do a stats checkup. Here we are, guys, at January 1st of 2024. We are 22-13-3. So after being 5-4-1 at the end of the first month, we've proceeded to win 17 games, lose only 9, and get 2 overtime losses. So 17, 9-2. That's a pretty good record, in my opinion. We get hot here. We get these really good strings of really good performances all around. We win games 5-1. 6-3, so even when the goaltending and defense lets up a couple of goals, our offense is still there. 5-2 is a solid win. 3-1, a good win against a struggling Ducks team. A 4-1 win against a pretty good Capitals team, and then we lost to Ottawa there, but they're a little bit worse than we were. Yeah, so as watching the simulation like this one, 8-3, when we win games, everything goes right for us. Like 4-1, 4-2. 4-1, 6-3. So like what I'm saying, guys, is our offense steps up and our defense plays well. When we lose, they're usually closer games. You can probably assume that something went wrong in the game. We had 3 4-1 losses right at the beginning of the month here. Only interceded by a 3-2 shootout win here. But we started to get hot a little bit later on in the month, and then December was our month, guys. I mean, we lost 2, 3, 4, 5 games in the month. We only lost 5 games in the month while winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins. So, I mean, that's a pretty good record. So we are going to go check the stats really quickly. Let's see where we are in the standings. Oh, look at that, guys. We are number 1 in our division right now. But we are only separated from a team like Tampa Bay in 6th place by 6 points. So there was at one point at the end of the last month, we were 2 points out of first, and we were in like 4th or 5th place. They had 31, and we had 29. I mean, this division is so freaking tight right now, guys. It's ridiculous. Let's go ahead and check out the player stats and see who's doing what for us. And guys, look at that. Wisniewski is leading the team in points. The guy we traded for, Jack Roslovic, he's got 44 points in 38 games playing alongside Jack Eichel. And look at Jeremy Bracco. I mean, I don't know if that's a credit to him. I mean, he's got 26 points in 38 games, and I'm pretty sure we're playing him on the 3rd line. He's ahead of Alex Nylander there, too. Maybe I should move Reinhart up to the 1st line so he's getting that 1st line ice time, because apparently Nylander just isn't, because he's not getting a ton of points. So it's looking like the Eichel and Wisniewski show on the top line. Maybe we put Reinhart on the top line now? I don't know what to do. So Arvidsson is doing well here as well. Some guys that I'd like to see doing better. Jaden frickin' Schwartz. Good lord, bud, you're not doing anything for us. I kind of want to keep him, though. I don't want to screw up the chemistry of the team. I'll keep him on the roster, but he is god-awful right now. Him and Mitch Marner are not clicking whatsoever. Wait, maybe Nylander is on that 2nd line and is actually hurting that 2nd line a little bit. Because look, they're the only minus players on the roster. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and check out defensemen while I go try and think of that. And Tyson Barrie, the big free agent signing, guys, 24 points in 38 games. Our leading point-getting defenseman. Jesus, he's doing really, really well for us. These guys aren't doing as well as I would have hoped they would do. Guys like Ulf Bacher and Jake Bean and Tulola have single-digit points now that we're almost halfway through the year. But let's go check out the big question mark in goaltending. So Gustafsson has recorded an assist, which is awesome. 2 shutouts for Kenny Schneider right now. 922 and 927 save percentages for them both. 2 shootout losses for Schneider there. He's got a 2.24 goal against average, so this is the goalie I've been waiting for. These are the stats I've been waiting for. So we finally found our guy in net. He's only an 85. Like I said, you can get pretty far. It doesn't always matter on the overall, but you can get pretty far. So I'm going to go check out goals for per game. Oh, wow. So the 2 bottom teams in our division are actually the tops in goals for per game. We are in third, so let's see here. They are 7 and 10 points behind us, so they're a little bit ways away. But goals against per game, that's why we make our bread and butter, guys, is the 2.34 goals against per game. Let's go ahead and check out the entire league and see how the standings are doing. Oh, look at that. We lead the league in goals against per game, so that's awesome to see that. And then we are in the top half of the league in goals for per game. If we could get up to 3.0 goals per game, guys, if Jaden Schwartz in that second line could just step it up and put some goals in for us, we would be phenomenal. Let's go ahead and check out the place. We are 5th place in the entire NHL, 8 points behind the Winnipeg Jets. We could win the conference if we catch the Flyers, but right now I'm just focused on winning the division and keeping it rolling. So let's go ahead and check out the lines and see. I forgot exactly what I did. I think I might have just hit best lines. And yeah, so Sam Reinhart is on that top line. So that top line is clicking. This second line with Nylander, I don't know. Nylander is just such a defensive liability. It kills me. I mean, he's an offensive god. Like, I keep saying that every time, but he's an offensive god. Like, so many assists all the time, but he's got no shot. And he's got no defense. So, and he's about to cap off. I mean, I know he's got great skating and the offensive awareness, puck control, passing. Like, if you played with this guy, it would be phenomenal. But a guy like Nylander, I'd like to see him do something for us a little bit more than, just he needs to break out in points, honestly. He's a -3. He's dragging these guys down, I'm pretty sure, because they don't have the greatest defensive categories. So that's all right. We'll keep it simulating. We'll keep it going. We are #1 in the division, and we are hot right now, so I'm not going to change a damn thing. So I will probably catch up with you guys at right before the trade deadline, and I probably won't want to make any trades, but that's just about 2 months away again, so let's go ahead and get right to that. See you guys in a minute. So here we are, guys. We are at the trade deadline, and we had a very, very good simulation. I believe we only lost 8 times. I forgot how many times we won, but our record's looking great. We are almost 2 wins for every loss, which is just great to see. And we ended this month here on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winning streak. Lost that one to Minnesota, but then an overtime win, a loss, a 5-0 shutout of a really good Carolina Hurricanes team. And if you guys remember, the Flyers were at the top of the Eastern Conference. And we've played them a couple times now, and we've handled them each time. Each time they've only been able to net 2. We've net 4 and 5 against them. So these teams are still pretty good. They're right on our heels. Tampa Bay's kind of fallen off a little bit, but they still got those 12 overtime wins. So I'll have to check out the standings here in just a second. But this 3-game losing streak kind of scared me because we just come off a 4-game winning streak, and then 2, and then so 3, 2. 4, 3, and then because a little bit of a streaky team kind of gets to me sometimes because I don't know what to root for, what to cheer for. Obviously, you want to win, but when you're a streaky team, you can gain ground and lose ground so quickly. And look at that, guys. We are still atop of our Atlantic Division here, and right behind us are Jack Roslovic and the Ottawa Senators. We're gonna have to check out at the end of the season. Check out how Jack Roslovic is doing. Wisniewski's still killing it though on that first line for us. 64 points in 62 games, followed by Jack Eichel, who's got 53 points in 62 games, and Sam Reinhart, who's got 47 in 62. Forwards, Bracco is still up there, Jesus. Marner, Nylander, and Schwartz. Wow, Schwartz had 10 points at the last simulation, right? He had 2 goals and 8 assists, or 8 goals and 2 assists, or something like that. That was at 38 games, and then, we played 24, and now he's up to 27 points, so he's been almost point per game, and then it's amazing to me that Bracco's as high as he is. I don't think he's getting any kind of special ice time. I think he's just getting like penalty kill and stuff like that. But that third line is still, or that second line is still minus, so we got to figure something out about that. And McNeely is a minus. We did call Sagan up for a game, and look at that. He did get a point. So because Arvidsson got hurt for a game, but he's still playing well. And then Kulikov and McNeely down here. So yeah. Our forwards are actually producing as I would expect them to. It's nice to see Schwartz back up there. I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger on him and want to trade him. Tyson Barrie here's got 39 points in 62 games, so he's probably a big reason that our our forwards are doing as well as they are too. Because when your defenseman can get an assist, your forwards usually have more points. Fowler and Risto, okay, we're used to that from these guys though. They're going to finish the season with about 25, maybe 30 points if they have a really hot season. And these guys are going to finish in the teens as we're used to. Let's go check out our goaltending again. Oh, now Schneider got a point too. 3 shutouts now for Schneider. 919 and 912, so their save percentages did go down a little bit. But their goal against average did go down as well. So we must be just having better shot suppression as well. So we are up at the trade deadline. We have, I think it's like 20 games or something left in the season. Yeah, exactly 20 games left in the season. So I will stay with you guys as we go through this simulation and get up here. Wow, we got 2 games back-to-back against Montreal, and then, wow, we got lots of dead time there, it looks like. So let's go ahead and simulate up to this, up to the 24th here, so we can save those last couple weeks of the season if anything gets interesting. And they keep offering me Leipzig and Spurgeon for 2 seconds. I don't need depth guys for 2 seconds. That's just kind of crazy. They're really good guys as far as players are concerned, but I don't need those kind of guys. So the trade deadline is passed, so this is the roster we're taking into this playoffs, hopefully, if we don't collapse. We win against Calgary, but then lose to the Oilers. Okay, we got a point, and then we bounce back with a 3-0 shutout win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then we play Chicago. Jonathan Quick in the Chicago Blackhawks. We beat them 5-1. Now, no guarantees Jonathan Quick was playing. Got another point there against the Islanders. But yeah, 3-0 loss. You guys can see how this team simulates 3-2 loss. But then I bet you we win every game this week. Versus Colorado. What's going to happen? It's taken a while to simulate. Oh, it's probably a scouting assignment. Yep, I knew it was coming, guys. I knew it was going to pop up because it was taking unusually long to go ahead and get that done. Scout some forwards from America for 3 weeks. Why not? Versus Colorado, we win 5-2. Against Boston, we lost. Boston seems to have taken off while we've been losing lately. 5-1 loss. We always freaking do this. I'm so sick of this. We always crawl into the playoffs. A 2-0 loss. God damn it. Why is it always, whenever we get close to the end of the season, we just shit the bed? Like, we just stop playing. And look at that, guys. We dropped to 3rd in the division now. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're securely in a playoff spot here, but, damn, I would really like to see us actually finish the season off strong. We have 8 games to go here, so please, let's finish off strong. Let's simulate this week, because we got a couple big games next week. Let's actually simulate these 2 games, and then we have 4 straight, I think 5 straight, actually, divisional opponents, because I think Florida is the first team down there at the bottom. It's either Florida or the Columbus Blue Jackets. And we lose again, but this finally, thank God, we win a game. Yeah, no, it's 5 straight divisional opponents. Let's go ahead. Can we take this first one against Ottawa? I know we did just lose to them, and we lost to them again. Now, come on, don't get to 30 losses before we get to 45 wins. That's my goal right now. Get this win against Tampa Bay, because we can do it. I know we can. A 6-4 win. Now, back-to-back games against an average. Okay, so we did qualify for the playoffs, so these 4 games only matter for seeding. We are going to make it. Okay, awesome to see that. Let's beat up on Montreal, who's about a 500 team. Let's win this first one against Montreal so we can get to 45 before we get to 30. That's my goal right now, and there we go. We did it. Can we beat Montreal back-to-back games in a home-and-home? And we do. We take a 5-1 win. All right, now we're up against Florida at home and Columbus at home. So we got 2 home games to send off our fans into the playoffs after a phenomenal season. Oh, Sean Donald has a swollen knee. That's our elite goalie, guys. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see elite goaltending prospects have swollen knees. Jesus. All right, versus Florida. And, oh, God, I got to do another scouting assignment. All right, did I scout forward? Let's scout defensemen for 3 weeks. Why not? Versus Florida, a 4-0 win. That's beautiful. And then this game against the Columbus Blue Jackets, does it mean anything for us? It actually means we could be second and have home ice advantage over Ottawa versus being third. It's 1 point, so maybe if we get 1 point out of this game, we can take second in the division. But I'm kind of bummed because we really, oh, there we go, a 5-2 win. I'm really bummed because this was the worst month I've seen us simulate besides the first month. Just as you guys get to watch, we start losing a whole bunch of games. What is that? I'm not even going to count overtime. I'm counting overtime losses as just a loss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 losses in a month versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. 6 and 10 in a month is not what you want to see. I don't care if we got points or not. But we did go into the playoffs on a hot streak, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to get over and past the Ottawa Senators. And stupid me, I was thinking Eastern Conference Champions or President's Trophy. But there we go, guys. We're facing off against Jack Roslovic and the Ottawa Senators in round number 1. So let's go ahead and check out the stats. And it looks like Wisniewski was a good trade for us. 83 and 82. He was point per game again. He's now up to a 90. I don't know if that's just because of morale. Jack Eichel, 70 and 82. So this was one of his better seasons. Sam Reinhart, 61. Bracco, what the? I don't know where the hell this guy came from or why he's as good as he is. But he had 57 points this season. He broke out. I can't even explain it. Tyson Barrie's up there, but let's stick with forwards for now. Nylander was up there, Marner and Schwartz. So these three guys turned it around there on that second line. Arvidsson had a pretty good end of the season. Dalcal, Beauvillier, Mr. Anthony here, McNeely, and Kulikov all did what I would expect them to do on the fourth line. Third line, I'm surprised Bracco's as high as he is. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Tyson Barrie had 49 points in 82 games, so that is fantastic. That's I like to see my defenseman have like a top defenseman have 41 in 82 because that's a point every other game. And then these guys, yep, this is what we expected from these guys. And then goaltending wise, 2 points for Schneider, 5 shutouts, a 919 save percentage and a 912, so that's about what we saw. And then a 2.31 goal against average and a 2.86 goal against average for Gustafsson. So not too bad for our two goalies, guys. Let's go ahead and check out the entire league here, see who did what, who's going to take home what trophy. Let's go ahead and just go with forwards. And yeah, Sagan and Ben are they are ridiculous. I believe, yeah, Sagan and Ben were tops in the NHL last season, and they are tops again. But look at that, guys. We finally have somebody at the top of the list as Wisniewski finished 4th on the list in points. The dude just knows how to score points, and that's why I wanted him. He may not be as good defensively as Roslovic, but I mean, it didn't hurt us at all. We still finished 1 point behind the Senators there, and it didn't help them at all. So yeah, 83 points. Next guy we should have up here is Jack Eichel with 70 points there. Yep. Anybody up here that I'm Goldobin? I was thinking about trading for him too, but I just kind of liked this guy better. Wisniewski. He was another guy that I had on my watch list. Let's go goals here. Stamkos had 45. Look at that, guys. Wisniewski was 4th. So we got ourselves a top-end point getter in the NHL. So let's go ahead and now check out defensemen, see who led the league defensively. Yeah, Klingberg. That's what I mean, guys. When you have a stud offensive defenseman and he's got 2 stud forwards with him, you're going to have lots of points scored amongst your team, and that's why I keep trying to find that stud offensive defenseman, because that would help Jack Eichel and Wisniewski and even Reinhart get more points. So OEL's up there again, but he is hurt, as you can see by that red little circle there. Liljegren of the Boston Bruins, he literally carried the Boston Bruins. Jesus, this guy is good. He was drafted 6th overall in the first round. That's the year we took Cal Foote, so we missed out on this guy by a couple picks, and then followed by Carlson there. Again, Carlson, another great season for him. Pietrangelo, Gostisbehere. Yeah, and we have Barrie down here at 49, so at least we're on the list. I don't really have to scroll. And then goalies. Let's gonna see who takes home the Vezina Trophy. If it loads. All right, there we go. See, Evan Fitzpatrick, that's what I mean. This guy, I mean, he plays well for the St. Louis Blues. Let's go ahead and sort by goal against average and see who's got the best goal against average with qualifying wins. And there it is. Oh my God, Eric Comrie, 89 overall as a starter potential. He had 2.02 goal against average and a 929 save percentage for a starting goalie. Holy crap! I mean, Kenneth Schneider was up there though, guys. I would call him the 3rd best goalie in the NHL this season. That's what you want to see. And then there's this Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. This is a new goalie. Interesting to see. He was a starter. He had a 2.25. So yeah, I mean, our guy had a great season. We got players who are now statistically playing well, and some of the better players in the NHL statistically. So that is great to see, because I think that bodes well for the playoffs, because there's all these teams that play well in the regular season but never end up actually doing anything in the playoffs. And I think that has something to do with your poise stat. I said that, I think, in the last video. But let's go ahead and check out the playoff tree. So then Boston and Florida, that should be a good series. And then the Capitals play the Blue Jackets, and the Flyers play the Penguins. Ooh, that would be a really good series in the first round. And the Coyotes over there in their stud goaltending play the Colorado Avalanche. The Canucks play the Flames. The Jets play the Oilers, and the Stars play the St. Louis Blues. Oh, I did say I was going to check Jack Roslovic's stats. Hopefully he didn't have a breakout season and help the Senators more. Probably help them defensively, which kind of hurts us, but, you know. And yeah, there's Jack Roslovic getting his usual 56 points. Now, guys, this looks a lot like our team. If you remember in our previous simulations, nobody's really getting a ton of points. Hoffman is their leading scorer with 29 goals and 69 points. But there's really no impressive numbers as far as points. We finally have that guy who's impressing us as points. Now, defensively, Erik Karlsson having 63 points is very impressive. And who's their goalie? We'll check. Oh, they have Bobrovsky. That's right. But he didn't have the greatest season. 2.4, 920. Okay, so not too bad. Not too good, though. So that's how the Ottawa Senators look statistically. We will check their lines out at the beginning of next video when we take them on in round number 1. I'm really liking this team. I'm really liking these lines. Oh, you know what? I've neglected doing this since we got out of the tank phase. Let's go check out our progress reports, see if anybody's grown at all. Modified. So Schneider actually grew up to 86 naturally, so that's really cool to see that. He actually grew. We finally had somebody grow. And it's not just because of morale. It's natural growth there. And then down there in the system, Redmond, that offensive defenseman we took, is up to a 64. He's still 18, though. Gabriel Mayer's up to a 76 at 18, medium elite potential. So we might be finding ourselves, excuse me, my throat is all whack. We might be finding ourselves a great, great player to replace Schwartz. Schwartz will be on the way out by the time Gabriel Mayer is ready to come in. So that's awesome to see that. Pollock did well. This is the guy that I took the picture of. Nowhere near what he was, so there's no correlation there. But he's up to a 67. Awesome to see that. Oh, I want to check out Sean Donald. Grew up 8 points. He's a 77, but he's injured now. Shit. That stunts his growth a little bit, but hopefully he'll jump in the offseason. And there we go, guys. That's the growth. So let me know what you guys think. What should we do? I enjoyed this one a lot because I think those trades we made were pretty good. What do you guys think of the trades? I mean, it turned out pretty well. We made the playoffs. We're gonna have to see what how we play against the Ottawa Senators. So yeah, I'm really happy with this team. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys when we take on the Ottawa Senators in the next one.